What's up guys, User here, and Maximum Football has finally been released on the PS5 with the 1.0 version coming out. Now, since everybody's covering this game and reviewing it, I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm going to look at this game at a position standpoint, and I'm going to start with the offensive and defensive lines. I'm looking at the Rampage versus the Grays, and I also did some gameplay with the Sharks and the Timberwolves. Now, the Grays are one of the best teams in this game, so I put them up against one of the lowest rated teams I could find to see the contrast between the elite program versus a lower tier on both sides of the ball. And I played the second game with two even teams, and I'm going to be breaking that footage down as well as covering the comparisons as far as like 2K8 and some Madden clips. I'm controlling the Grays. We're in a 4-3, and I sent a 4-man pressure here, and as you can see, the River were actually able to pick this up pretty well and get the pass out, form a really good pocket. Fortunately for me, my end made a really good play on that one. Here in this next clip, I had to send a little bit more of an exotic blitz. We send a corner and a linebacker, and it's able to get us favorable matchups across the front to get a good sack, forced fumble. So to try to get more favorable matchups, I started shifting my defensive line. Again, this is just a 4-man pressure, and we're able to get a little bit better matchup here on the edge. Interior-wise, we sort of get more pressure, the pocket starts to break down, and as the quarterback steps up, we end up getting the coverage sack. For comparison, this is Madden 26 when the pocket was breaking down and the quarterback was escaping. So it's very similar in my opinion. Now on the flip side of this is the Grays. I wanted to establish the run game early and get physical. I knew my offensive line could push them around a little bit. Really good third and short. Running back does a little wiggle, gets physical at the point of attack, gets me a first down. When I started going to the air, I mean, they built me pockets every time I was able to step up and just deliver passes, and did that with relative ease. Just looking at some All-Pro Football 2K, just how dynamic and fluid the pockets are in this game. Maximum is still quite a ways off from that. In this clip, I'll let me explain.
That was awesome. It was almost like a stunt. So
this almost happened organically, and it sort of looked like that Madden 26 clip where they were talking about the new line stunts. The way that this played out didn't result in a sack, but you can see he swims around the offensive line and is able to get pressure on the quarterback immediately. I love that play. On these clips here, this is the Sharks-Wolves. I did get a little bit more creative in my run game against the Wolves with the Sharks. Use a lot of motion to set up some blocks. And I want to give this clip a comparison as far as like what it looked like back with the GOAT of football games, Madden 2007 on the PS2. From a blocking standpoint, it's very similar, but there's just stuff like that little quick burst juke that makes all the difference visually when it comes to this game's run game. Even the Rhinos run game did its thing. They gashed me a couple times. Just a couple more clips. This was a very even game from both fronts as far as like who had the advantage, and I had to really run blitz heavily to cause any kind of stops or losses in their run game. The Ross are far less sacks. You can see here my team did a really good job building pockets. Both teams did a really stout job as far as pass protection. So having a super overrated team go against a lower team, I feel like the sack production was way up. The run game was a little bit more disproportionate. In these more even matchups, it felt that way. You had to really execute well on both sides of the ball to have the advantage. A couple things this game needs badly is some more dynamic stuff here, especially on the offensive and defensive lines. In this clip of All-Pro Football, you can see there's cuts, there's edge moves, there's all sorts of stuff going on. I also feel like there's a lack of dynamic edge rushers. Like in this clip, you could see Penn State's edge. He's beating a double team. He's fighting through blocks. He's setting the edge. It also feels like when I'm playing against elite interior linemen, they don't impact the game enough. I feel like if you're like one of those 80, 90 overall guys, they should be eating double teams, causing messes, pushing the pocket, and you should feel how dominant they are inside. But how do you guys feel about the trenches, the warfare inside? Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions as well.